Good evening, Onefootball TV viewers, and welcome back to a historic evening. Do not change your set, do not rub your eyes. England have won a penalty shootout in the World Cup, unbelievably. My voice is a little bit hoarse, as I'm sure is my guest tonight, Rob Armstrong. Rob, how are you doing, mate?
Hey, how do you think I'm doing? Football's carrying on.
I knew you'd be doing brilliant. I mean, what does this mean? This is historic. It's unprecedented water for England in the World Cup, winning a penalty shootout, guided by someone who knows all too well about the failures of a penalty shootout. I mean, can you put into words what this means?
Gareth Southgate knows more about pain than any human on this planet, and he's taught those boys about pain. And they've come out of it all the better. I can't believe, mate, honestly, I've kissed so many blokes in the last hour. I've just been finding any old random bloke, been giving him a big old snog. So we finally exercise them demons. That penalty thing's done.
Yeah,
it's done. We can win them now. It's fine.
We can forget about it. I mean, it's typical England to put us through it. To take the lead, the last minute the last minute goal, and then the extra time, which was a bit sort of, we're both kind of waiting for penalties, and then to even go behind the penalty shootout, then to come back and win it. Would you have it any other way as an England fan?
Like every other way, but now it's done.
It's done.
You know, the thing is, and I think I may be plagiarising this a little bit from Gary Neville, but now it's done. Like, I think winning that is bigger than anything. We could have won 6-0 tonight, but winning that penalty shootout, obviously it's the worst way to get there. Yeah. But winning that for us, as a country, like, everyone I was with, when we were down there, it was like, no, not penalties, anything but penalties. And I don't know if that's the same with every other nation, because I've never been from another nation. But in England, that's like the last thing you want.
I was with people who were shedding a tear. And I tell you what, it was pretty nerve-wracking. So, moving forward then, what does this mean for the rest of the tournament? Saturday, 3 o'clock, Sweden. Where do we go from here? You looking forward to it? Are you looking positive now?
Am I looking forward to winning the quarter-final and going through the semis against probably Russia or Croatia? Well, no, it's going to be either Russia or Croatia.
Either Russia or Croatia.
Of course I am. We've just got to beat Sweden without Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Did you watch that game earlier?
I did. I saw bits of it, and I thought, even though you're saying, oh, it's only Sweden, they are still there. They haven't got there by some sort of fluke. They've come out of a group with the likes of Germany and Mexico, won the group and got past Switzerland. So I'm gonna err on the side of pessimism, just because as an England fan, you know it all too well, and it's gonna be a tough game. If we rock up and win 6-0, I'll be absolutely amazed, but I can't see it happening.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, every game's tough, right, in this World Cup. But at the same time, like, if those boys turn up and they're playing like Burnley would, that's maybe unfair. Burnley finished 7th this year. They're playing like Stoke would play against Man United. Then I'd be pretty upset. Like, this is Sweden, right? Colombia have a few players playing in top clubs. Yeah. Top players. They've got 2 or 3, right? Sweden. I'm giving you a sort of doubting Sweden face. This is what it looks like when I doubt. This is what I look like when I doubt a Swede, mate.
Oh wow, okay, that's pretty doubtful. I'm not going to lie. I'm not sure too many Swedish fans will be happy with that. But talking about key players, then tonight, England's key players. And we spoke about it a lot before when you were on the sofa recently. We'll start with the obvious one in Harry Kane. I thought I had a really, really good game. Wasn't necessarily his best attacking threat, but in terms of the team, he did well. Obviously, Cooley put away the penalty. Now sees himself 2 goals clear of any challenger for the Golden Boot. It's his to lose, right?
Well, the Golden Boot, yeah, and the World Cup, mate. At the end of the day, look, he won the penalty. He scored it. I can't criticise it. He maybe went a little quiet after he scored, and I think that was maybe the whole team in itself. Yeah. Actually, when they scored, there was that kind of stink of inevitability about it. You kind of saw that they were going to have that one big chance. You just hope that they're going to miss it. They weren't any good though. At the end of the day, we were so much better than them. And like I said before, that's a team with actual decent players. We were so much better than them. Again, similar to the Tunisia game. Yeah. Could have been a little more. Could have finished it earlier. We didn't have many finite chances, so to speak. But we were, you saw the same first half I did. You saw the same game I did. We were all over them for most of it.
Yeah, no, we were. I mean, the one disappointing thing for me, how is it that a player like Raheem Sterling can have such a fantastic season and then turn out like this? Like, again, he was subbed off today before the 90. Really, really didn't look the part for me. And I know we've got, a few young players who are playing really well, or maybe inexperienced tournament squad, not inexperienced in terms of playing for their club level. But these are the big players like Sterling, who's been here before, who I expect to step up a bit more. I mean, for the game on Saturday, would you start with Rashford? Would you even start with Dele Alli, who as well I thought wasn't at his best? He looked quite unfit.
I'd start with Sterling. What happened when he went off? The thing is with Sterling, right? And I'll give you that. There's no escaping the criticism that he hasn't had the final ball this tournament. He hasn't got the assist goals that you expect from him, especially after the season with Man City that he's had. But what I will say about Sterling is when he's on the pitch, we're always threatening. Yeah. And even if you miss your chances, it wears the opponent down when you're threatening, right? That's the whole thing. It gets in their mind. It's the mentality thing. And I would still start Sterling, despite the fact I know he's copping a lot of heat. I know he's getting a lot of criticism, because he's not had that final ball yet. But he keeps getting in those positions. And I think there is something for that. The worst comparison I can give you, but the one I'm going to give you is when back in the days when West Ham were rubbish, which we normally are, we had a geezer called Ricardo Vazte.
Oh, of course.
The least gifted players I've ever known. But our sort of promotion push was all based on the fact that he did score a few in the end, but basically he just got loads and loads of chances. If you hit him in the face enough times, one of them goes in. And I think, obviously, Sterling's playing on a completely different level, and it's not comparable really, but it's a sort of mentality thing. And I think when your player gets in those spaces, when a player keeps scaring defenders, even if they get the better of him and he doesn't score or whatever, he makes space for someone else. And, when he was on the pitch, we were always attacking. And then I've got no problem with Rashford at all. I think he's brilliant. I think all the players really did well tonight. But I'd probably still keep him on. You'd
still keep Sterling in. I mean, so I've just, sort of got a bit of the background info. I've just been listening to a few pundits just at the end of the game. Looking forward to Saturday. Before the tournament, certainly myself and I know a lot of other England fans said we'd be happy with the quarterfinals. We'd be happy with maybe even getting through the group stage. Now that we're here, can we even contemplate being happy with that? For me, it just seems bizarre to think, regardless of what happens on Saturday afternoon against Sweden, we're happy because we made it to the quarters. Surely not.
No, can't think that now. It's got to be semis now. That's the thing. I tell you what, that was why that was so big.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't think beyond the next game. Obviously, you never can. That's stupid. And Sweden, everyone knows England have a fair share of trouble with Sweden at tournaments. But that's why we should have taken Andy Carroll. He's got the key. But Sweden are a good team. But is there any player on that pitch that you would swap for one of ours? I don't think there is. I mean, maybe there is, but not for me.
No, I don't think so. But I think as a team unit, as you mentioned before, they've got pretty good. But
we're a decent unit, mate. We conceded.
No, but I'm saying we can't just look at a list of names who are not nobodies but not as well known as ours and think that it's not going to go as well. But I know what you mean. I think as an England fan, sorry, go on.
You can't come into it with a small time mentality.
No,
right? You can't. If you're thinking like, do you know what? These Swedes are a decent team. Like, no, you show them respect. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, they're a decent team. It's a World Cup quarter final. It's not a muck about, but it's still a team that we're better than, and we have to take the front foot in that game. Obviously, we've got to take it to them. We've got to score early, and then you score the second one, and in theory, they don't have enough to come back with, right?
Yeah.
That's how you play when you're the big team. It's like they're going to put, because we are the big team in that game, right? They're the ones that are going to be playing
the underdog style, yeah.
So we need to get that goal, then you get the second, and then the rest comes with it, right? And so we can't think any other way than like, okay, we are the better team, we've got to do this. We have to think about this game the same way that Man City think about playing Newcastle, right? Yeah, good team, mid-table in the end, fine. Score a goal, go from there. You have to think about it. You can't. I know England obviously has no we have that sort of big time mentality in a way, but we also have a very small time mentality in a way. You know, we think we're going to lose every penalty shootout, and that group of players there has proved us wrong on that.
Yeah.
We think that we can't get through the easy teams a lot of the time, and that group of players proved us wrong with Panama when they did it in a way that we haven't really seen England do it in a tournament for a long time. You know, Tunisia, when things got tough, that's the kind of game that a few years ago we would have lost because we got that kind of small time thing. We're like, we'll take the draw against Tunisia, like we took the draw against Algeria. Go on, speaking all funny because I've been shouting all night. This year we won it. Belgium game, fine. Reserve game, who cares?
So then
it fits my narrative anyway.
So then I'll really put my neck out on the line there. If you're saying that a few years ago we would have lost this kind of game, are you talking about the golden generation, for example? Would you put this team above them? If you're saying we would have lost the game a few years ago with the likes of Scholesy, Gerrard, Lampard, Owen, Becks, yet now we're turning up with, I'm not saying lesser players, but maybe not the calibre of these players. I mean, those guys were world beaters at the time. Now with the likes of, you know, I mean, I can't really mock them because they're part of the England team, but the players like Harry Maguire, like Kieran Trippier, even Jesse Lingard to a certain extent, these guys aren't winning title after title after title with their club. In fact, it's only Raheem Sterling and Kyle Walker who look set to do that for the next few years out of the Man City contingent. So how do you rate... Sorry, Stones as well. Stones as well. How can you really sort of... Yeah, I can't really see Delph being there for too long. But aside from that, where do you put almost this generation in terms of generations gone by, the ones that have lost on penalty shootouts, the ones that wouldn't have beaten Tunisia in the last minute? You know, the ones that Gareth Southgate played in. Is this the best team you've seen in your lifetime?
I'll tell you what, mate. It's one game, and you put them when you want them, mate. Because one game's time, they're as good as 90. They're as good as 96, as 60. Not 66. They're not as good as 66.
No one's as good as that.
one game's time, they're as good as 90, and they're as good as 96 at the end of the day. That's it. Like, you can say what you want about, well, they've done better in club football here, there, everywhere, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, this is it, right? The World Cup, even when you compare it to the Euros. Yeah. You know, Greece and Denmark have won the Euros. The World Cup is the top.
Someone else. Even with banishing the penalty demons, you'd still put them in the same category as the mid-90s, the Gaza and the like.
Well, if they get to the semi-final, yeah, because that's it, isn't it? It's the World Cup semi-final, and this one of that team in 1990 won a penalty shootout as well. So let's hope they go further than the team in 99. But listen, I think there's so much potential in that team. I think they can get there, and when you get to the final, and we obviously take it one game at a time, because Croatia are a great team, Russia are the home advantage, Sweden are attractive. You get to the final, it's a puncher's chance, in it. And at the end of the day, more often than not, when you say someone's got a puncher's chance, they don't have a world-class player in the team, which we do with Harry Kane. They don't have a bunch of lads who've just got 100 points in the Premier League. They don't have that kind of youth and cohesion that we seem to have, and togetherness and support from the nation, which we've newer had in my life.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm shocked actually that we're getting behind them.
Yeah, for me, we're one game away from them being the best team that I can really remember. Yeah, and it's the same myself. I can remember bits of '98, and I can not really remember anything of '96 other than the fact it happened. So as far as I know, one game's time, that's the best England team I can remember.
I think I'd have to completely agree with you there. And what's more is that if you take away the likes of maybe Cahill, it looks like a team for years to come as well. It's not like we're hitting our prime in 4 years, we're starting again. It looks pretty promising. So I've got to finish, Rob, with the ultimate question, which I'm sure I'll be going through with you every single game until the World Cup final. But is football coming home?
Do Bears cheer for England in the woods?
Not if they're Russian Bears. I'm sure maybe not.
They do his dance, mate. They're pointless. Who cares about them? They're not functional.
There might be a Russia-English bear fight, we'll never know. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, Rob, tonight. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. I'll let you get away and get back to the celebrations, of which we heard a few in the background. Thanks for the flag. And yeah, we'll speak to you soon, Rob. Cheers, mate.
Football's coming home, lads.
Football is coming home. Well, we'll have to wait and see for that. With Sweden ahead on Saturday for the England national team. For everyone watching, thank you very much, guys, for joining. Make sure to stay up to date with all your OneFootball World Cup content on OneFootball TV. And until you next time, from a historic evening, I'll see you again soon.